Good morning and welcome to another episode of Drew's Book Reviews. So today's book review is going to be on Jim Butcher's Death Mask. So this is the fifth book in the Dresden Files series. So if you haven't read this or haven't been watching previous videos, essentially the Dresden Files is about this guy named Harry Dresden. He is a detective. He's really the only practicing wizard in Chicago. So when it says he's a detective, more like a magical consultant to the police. So he himself is not like an official detective or anything like that as far as with the police, but he is a consultant and he investigates magical crime, kind of like a private investigator, and often finds himself in these insane situations which seem like there's no way out of it. And he's constantly coming up against all sorts of problems. Uh, so he lives in a world where there's essentially no belief in magic. The idea of being a wizard is ridiculed. Technology simply does not work around Mr. Harry Dresden, and he is constantly under attack by all kinds of creatures like vampires and demons and fairies and all kinds of stuff. So he's battling these types of creatures throughout each and every book in the storyline. Uh, so in this book, essentially, he is tasked with investigating the theft of the Shroud of Turin. So he's hired by a Catholic priest to find this shroud and figure out what's going on with it, what's happening with it, and this is where he kind of gets involved with the Denarians. These Denarians are referred to, or are these individuals who have basically sold their soul to the devil, and they are given this piece or this silver coin referencing back to 30 pieces of silver that Christ was betrayed by. And each one of them has a silver coin that gives them this incredible amount of power to do all kinds of horrible things, but at the behest of bidding to do evil, essentially. So Harry is basically stuck where he's got to protect himself and others from these Denarians, and that's basically the gist of the story. That is the basic concept behind this particular book. And overall, I have to say, like, generally speaking, I really enjoyed it. Of course, when we got in here, Harry's girlfriend Susan returns. She's basically half vampire, and so she returns within this story as well. Now, one of the elements of the story is, well, let me just start off where the story starts. So we start off in a talk show, basically, where this Catholic priest who hires him to find the Shroud of Turin, and the vampire Duke Ortega. Now, he is, of course, not presenting himself as a vampire in any kind of public image. Both come on the show as basically this talk show that Harry's on, under this guise of being a cynic or critic or skeptic of Harry legitimately being a wizard, but they're really there because they wanted the opportunity to speak to him. One, the priest to hire Harry to find the Shroud of Turin, and Duke Ortega wants to challenge him to a duel, thinking that this will end the war between the Wizard White Court and the Vampire Red Court, which has been raging for the past 2 to 3 books now. So Harry is basically forced into this duel with Duke Ortega of the Red Court, all the while trying to fend off and the Daenerys and everybody who's trying to kill him and try to find the Shroud of Turin. Of course, he gets mixed up with Marcone, the mob boss of Chicago. All gets kind of caught up in this whole scenario and this whole thing. Now, I got to be honest, I didn't really think that the whole duel with Duke Ortega really went anywhere. I'm not sure that that really served any greater purpose within the story, as the main storyline was the Shroud of Turin, finding that and trying to stop the thieves from using it to send magical plague throughout the world. So I'm not sure that was really a part of the story that really worked well. But other than that, like, it was a pretty good book. I really enjoyed it. Right towards the end, we got this really awesome, classic fight on the train top type scene. It's almost something like you might see out of an old West movie. So that was a lot of fun. And you know, a lot of things like that, like a train top fight, like they're done so much that you can almost call them cliche. But I thought Jim Butcher did a good job within this book of not making it feel cliche written as far as a train top fight. But I guess because when you throw in things like demons and whatnot into there, that tends to help with that ideology, or help it not feel so cliche. And the demons and all that kind of stuff, just it's a lot of fun. It really is. And overall, just a fun series, and I'm really enjoying it, especially if you like kind of that modern day fantasy um, world. Then this is certainly something that is worth picking up. It's worth reading, and very enjoyable all around. I am really liking it. And you know, if you like that modern day fantasy type book, then this is definitely something that you will enjoy. So I definitely recommend it. Pick it up, check it out, all that good stuff, and check out the Dresden Files. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I am certainly enjoying reading this series, and you know, thanks for tuning in. As always, don't forget to stay tuned for my next review, which will be on Blood Rights, the next book in the Dresden Files series. And of course, I will have my links to my social media profiles in the description below, so don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. And again, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned for the next book in the Dresden Files when I do my review of that book. Hope you have yourself a great day. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Drew's Book Reviews.